First, at some point, and we may be getting there, President Trump must make Russian President Vladimir Putin pay a price for playing him, embarrassing him, attempting to conquer another country, and killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians. That's our Why It Matters segment tonight. Trump has plenty of options. He can unleash devastating sanctions, or he can punish India and China for buying Russian oil. Better yet, he could force Putin to take a real ceasefire deal and give the Ukrainians part of their country back and the tens of thousands of kids the Russians have kidnapped. Trump goes to Alaska on Friday to meet Putin. Speaking to reporters today, he tamped down expectations of securing a deal in that very first meeting.
Well, we're going to have a meeting with Vladimir Putin, and at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal comes.
And how will you know that?
Because that's what I do. I make deals.
Trump's, tough talk with Putin is undoubtedly the reason the two are meeting this week. His threats against Putin are far more aggressive than what former President Joe Biden ever considered doing. So we've seen this game of chess played by President Trump since the start of his second term. And he's had challenges. He had to get both Russia and Ukraine to the table. So here's the timeline of Trump's relations with Putin and Zelensky. In January, Russia's attacks on Ukraine ramped up after President Trump's second term began. And a lot of folks criticized Trump for being easy on Putin. February is when Trump and Vance teamed up against Zelensky in the Oval Office, with Trump even telling Zelensky that he was gambling with World War III. In March, Trump shifted his tone with Putin, telling him flat out to stop attacking Ukraine. April, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent signed the minerals deal, signaling a shift to be more supportive of Ukraine. May, he blasted Putin for being crazy for launching the biggest attack on Ukraine since the start of the war. June, Trump held a, quote, very nice meeting with Zelensky. By July, Trump promised to send more weapons to Ukraine and said he's not happy with Putin, which brings us to this month. President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, met with Putin in Moscow, leading up now, setting the stage for this summit on Friday. President Trump seemed to indicate today that this could be the first in a series of summits.
This is really a feel-out meeting, a little bit. And President Putin invited me to get involved. He wants to get involved. I believe he wants to get it over with. Now, I've said that a few times, and I've been disappointed because I'd have like a great call with him, and then missiles would be lobbed into Kiev or some other place.
Our friend Colby Hall says that this is high stakes. If Putin offers symbolic concessions, think about something like a prisoner release or a troop pullback, Trump will face enormous pressure to spin that as peace and declare victory. Appeasement with a man like Putin rarely buys peace. It buys time for the next attack. And Putin has played this game masterfully over the past, since he came into office. Putin has successfully played George Bush, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden. And here's the thing. Vladimir Putin isn't used to paying prices. He's ex-KGB. He makes other people pay prices, normally in the form of their own lives. Former KGB, once KGB, always KGB. They are master manipulators. They are sociopaths. That's who Trump meets on Friday.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.